a little different world that we wake up today with a very weak dollar, and actually yields are starting to pop a bit. We have the ISM in about an hour and a half that'll affect rates, and the key question is, was Friday's reversal in the market the end of the correction, or are we going to set up just a sharp bear market rally? Because the hallmarks of a bear market rally is kind of what it did Friday, not kind of what it did Friday. They're fast, they rip, but they're not long lasting. They really serve the purpose of shaking out late to the party shorts that are panicking. And we had a pretty decent VIX value on this. I'm still waiting for TG TGIH. Here we go. It's still not coming up. Wait a minute. So anyway, the dollar is taking a little bit of a hit. The whole board is up. I'm going to show you Bitcoin. It came within 3,000 of a technical target. And, I've talked about this for years, doing different videos, that when everyone is looking for one number, like 75, and it was a legitimate number because that was a measured move off the descending triangle. But when everyone is looking for the same outcome, the same number, what happens a lot is it either doesn't get there or it melts through it like a hot knife through butter. So that's exactly what happened in Bitcoin. I'd call Bitcoin the most powerful comeback of all the markets. So giving back a little, but that was one heck of a rally from 78. We're right back above the descending triangle break. I think this is a low. So maybe we're going to get these the bullish targets. This may have completed wave 4, and now we're in wave 5. So I don't know, it'd be hard for me to see a new low now. What I didn't like about it was on the 2-hour and multiple time frames, we have a confirmed low. So I'm not a big Bitcoin trader anyway. So I missed that. And with Friday, um, I showed on the stream how gold had flagged actually hit a moving average. It was a 4-hour. But then again, to initiate a position on a Friday, see this? Look at that. I guess I could have gone light, but this was really the closing candle here. So who knew what could happen over the weekend? I'm not going to chase it. Um, I hold out the belief that there still could be one more shot down, maybe towards 28.10, and then I'll try it. Silver is really exploding. Look, it held the trend line too. Look at that. And the trend line was drawn way before, but I just had to extend it out, and you'll see how long-term of a trend line it is. It's off the January low. So held where it had to. I thought we might get to 20.5 first before we had this. Okay, so I've done nothing. The only thing that I did recommend was to, cover shorts in gold that I was stalking longs after being there for the top, and that silver was approaching support at 30.5, and that Bitcoin at 75.5. So before I get to the currencies, take a look at S&Ps. So it was really a rip your face out rally. Look, it's one candle probably in the last half hour. So is this enough? And we're going to roll over. I think some of the bulls are saying this is the end of, this is their kind of interpretation, I think. That wave 3 began down here. I mean, wave 5. And this was one of 5, and this is one big ABC, and now we're going to blow again. So the first thing it would have to do is take out 6,000, but because we rallied in such dramatic fashion, I think it was mainly short covering. I don't think this is going to be long lasting. And we're going into Tariff Tuesday, not just Turnaround Tuesday. So I don't think the market's going to respond unless there's a change of what we're thinking is going to happen. Maybe a reduction, maybe a delay in Mexico. The president of Mexico is coming to Washington, so maybe they're working something out. I do want to get to what I think is changing, beginning to change. And the first hint was the yen turning up last week. It's fading right now. Okay. And I know some people want to sell it here looking for one more low. If we had one more low, this was a good trade from here. Um, down here, I'd probably try it again, but this still could have been the low. So what I'm looking at is the possibility that the 10-year is starting to look a little bottomy to me, and TLT is starting to look a little toppy. Maybe one more high for a 1, 2, 3. But I think the yen is telegraphing something, and that yields may be in for a pop to the upside in yields, and at least a correction in TLT, maybe down to 89. So I think that the support, whatever markets wanted lower yields, that if they needed that to support them, that's going to be on pause for a while. All right, so let's go through the individual currencies. So, Aussie did hold the 61.8 level. That was an area, and because of the action last week, I didn't buy it. It's still the weakness. Cable, I believe, is ready to push new highs up here. So it's been leading the way, as I've been saying for weeks, euro pound. No sign of a bottom. This looks like a flag. Maybe next low, we may have some type of bottom. So the only new thing I'm doing is I'm actually going to give the dollar a shot here to see if it could dig in its heels before it makes new lows. So I'm not going in with both hands and feet, but just trying to see if we're going to get an A, and this A was call it 570, 560, call it 170 pips. So if we had 170 pips from here, it's going to take you up till around 108 um, for a C. So we'll see. I guess if the dollar just pukes, I'll have to finesse if we break down. I'll just have to finesse a dollar short. In the meantime, let's see what happens. We're going to have some whiplash starting with the ISM tomorrow with tariffs. And there's also the ECB. Then there's the jobs number Friday. So you know what? It may not be the greatest week to try and put on swings or position trades, and maybe just scalp around and come in flat because you have a lot of huge overnight risk um, with what's going to happen here. So lower your leverage, widen your stops because we're going to see increased ranges and volatility. And I would say that the one thing that could be changing, the pain trade is going to be in yields going up because I think most of the market is convinced that we're in for a period of economic softness. I've heard growth scares, etc. But perhaps this was just another bear market rally, or we're going to get back to a head and shoulders formation. But even if we form a head and shoulders bottom, it implies a pullback to 88. So I'm very focused on what I want to take a look at what some of the Mag 7's doing. Bitcoin's giving quite a bit back right now. So we have Amazon down. But if you notice, Amazon from last week, even though the S&P's made new lows, it made a higher low. Maybe that was it, but you could also get some type of ABC. Apple following through on its reversal day, not by a ton, but maybe this is a failing rally here, and we're not going to make new highs. So I'm stalking that. Okay, we're getting no follow through in NVIDIA. That's not helpful. Uh, Got to hope it holds because under 116, here's a big picture in the NVIDIA. We have a breakdown of a descending triangle here in NVIDIA. Let's look at the weekly. Okay, so you kind of have this flat bottom here, and the high was 152, and it's holding 116. That's 36 bucks from 116 gives you 80, enough to flush out the August low. That's where I think we're going. I was hoping, uh, you can hope for your, rally and area to where you want to sell. Doesn't mean it's going to get there. But I do have a plan if we get up to 132, 130, 132 to short NVIDIA, looking for a breakdown under 116. AI carried the market up, and AI is going to be the huge amount of weight put upon the market down the road. Now we have a real big March coming up, a couple of eclipses. We have an equinox. We have all this tariff stuff going on. March is going to be, I think, a pretty wild month. I'm thinking that if I'm right about this being a failing rally in the stock indices, that we could probably go down into the end of the month, maybe towards option expiration. Might be a good time. If I'm wrong, then we're going to rally into that time frame. Um, See if it could make new highs. But I have to go with what I have experienced in the past, and the kind of rally that we had Friday certainly reminds me and has the characteristics of a bear market rally, and the market's already starting to turn. See what happens with the ISM. So far, you could say the rally's only lasted since it was the end of the session, a matter of hours, right? So that's a wrap for me. I'll be with you throughout the week. We have a great interview, and you need to mark your calendar. I'm going to be interviewing Peter Grandich, who wrote his life story about being a whiz kid on Wall Street. And Peter is going to, get down to the marrow about, his journey. And not every trader's journey, not mine, not many. I mean, we all say price is king, but some of the greatest traders in the world have actually also paid the price of being in this industry. I think it's good to give people the whole story and not just blue sky of what they're getting into from a veteran like Peter. So mark your calendars. It's going to be 11:30 a.m. EST on Thursday. And in the meantime, did a little posting in the room. Mike's active as usual, probably following option suites, probably has 20 trades on by now. He's pretty amazing to have that kind of universe he can pay attention to. So remember, everyone, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. I would say tread lightly throughout the week with all the news events. Don't try ever in any circumstance to try and hit home run balls. Okay, grind it out. And there are certain days where, even a butcher takes a day off instead of grinding it out and slicing and dicing. So, that's what I would be doing probably till after the NFP on Friday. And then perhaps it would be set up for something a little longer term swing chart, swing trade wise. So everyone have a great day. See you in the room. And remember about hope. Replace hope with stop losses, and then you don't have to hope. Okay? It takes that out of your hands so that you don't make the big mistake and hope yourself into a huge drawdowns. Speaking from experience. And I'll see everyone tomorrow. Good luck. And let's see what happens on Tariff Tuesday.